Hi everybody and welcome to SA Rugby Magazine. We've got Mark here. Mark Keohane wanted to chat to you about Peter de Villiers.
End of an era, not an era.
An era.
2011 when he left the Springboks, he surfaced again, not in the form of a coach, but with his, he could be comical Ali in the way his rhetoric, and he had that infamous line where he said he was going to pull a rat out of the hat. Yeah. And it was before a test match in 2008.
He pulled a few rats out of that.
He did pull a few rats. And he has now come out and said he played the media for the fools that they were. He owned the South African media.
That?
Not at all. And well, he can't get a job. He hasn't had a job since 2011 if you discount.
Well, hold on a second. He coached in Zimbabwe.
And he coached the University of Western Cape for a season. Didn't go down very well. He hasn't a professional coaching job in Europe, Japan, or in this country. And now if you've coached the Springboks...
It does beg the question how in God's name he got the Springbok job in the first place.
Well, as Oregon Hoskins said at the time, it was very much a politically motivated appointment.
Yeah.
I was very opposed to him getting the job at the time. I didn't think he was good enough. You speak to players, they say he was a great manager in the sense it was carefree, the environment and that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get too many saying...
Meaning he didn't coach.
Yeah, he didn't add much to the actual coaching of the team. And that was that golden generation of player that came through from that 2007 World Cup, and with better coaching, they should have won that, come very close to winning that 2011 World Cup.
Well, that team to me was the most dynamic team that I've ever seen South Africa produce. So, I mean, the fact that they, in fairness to him, they did win 2 games against the All Blacks. They beat the Lions. They crashed out of the World Cup, but that team was one of the best teams I've ever seen play. And you're right, with a coach, with any decent coach, they should have won back-to-back World Cups.
Yeah, if there was one team that was going to go through from 2007 to 2011, it was that team, and they were very similar to that. The quality of that All Black side that went through from 2011 to 2015.
Yeah.
And we had the right to expect a lot more of that team. With the proper coaching structure. The thing is, he's surfaced now again to basically say how prejudiced he was, that there was a media campaign against him. He was his own worst enemy. The only campaign that he had was the one that he put there against himself. And he certainly, if he had that delusion that he owned the media, that he put them in their place, he was a laughingstock. He made for great copy every day, but copy to the point where you're half embarrassed for the guy who was actually saying those things out there. And
well, I remember the most infamous thing I remember about Peter de Villiers is not him himself, but that gentleman, that young lad that did after we lost to Italy, he did a voiceover of Peter de Villiers and Hugh Bladen.
Yes. Yeah. So it's but I mean his rants and his ramblings, and he's left Zimbabwe under a kind of cloud. I didn't have any time for him as a coach. I thought he was a colourful character, and again, in that setup, he had played more a manager role than anything else. And the fact that he wasn't in demand anywhere in the world post coaching the Springboks says more about his inability to coach a team than it says about anything else. And people will scream prejudice, racism. It's a South African thing where no club in the UK, France or Japan actually wants you. It's got nothing to do with the colour of your skin. They just obviously don't rate you as a coach. And Zimbabwe were awful that he got there, and they were even worse when he left. So he says that the media are the rats. He's the rat, and not a particularly inviting one either.
No, okay, well said.
We've given him a lot of airtime. I just thought, speaking on behalf of my media colleagues and my rugby writing colleagues, I would have to say to him, you pull a rabbit out the hat, not a rat.
Yes, I agree. Thanks, Mark, for that.